welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all up next.
No single building has played host to more Super Bowls than this one right here. The Caesars Superdome in the Crescent City of New Orleans. This is Super Bowl 59, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. The moment is upon us, and we've got what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, confidence. These guys don't lack for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, for our champions of the NFC, this was a battle of attrition this year. It was a tough road to get here, but now they feel like they are battle-tested and ready to go.
And that certainly cannot be overlooked. They've taken everyone's best shot this season, and they've withstood all of them.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it. This short throw caught by Goedert. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he appears to be about 2 feet short on 3rd and 3. Leaves him with a 4th and 1. Great first drive defensively. 3rd and short, able to stuff the run.
And what it does is it gives not just confidence to your defensive players, it gives an overall feeling of, okay, we've established things here early. We can carry this throughout the game.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Taken in at the 22. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Brown goes in motion left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
This will be caught once again by Brown. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
And I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. To throw, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And running with power here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5. Throwing quickly, that's caught by Brown out wide. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They go play action. Now Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. Now here's Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Got him in. It's Brown. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. They'll run here with Pacheco. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Throwing is Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Complete. It's Dotson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Hurts. Flushed out right. And he's got this down to the 35. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Here's Hurts to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll look to throw. Man open left side is Brown. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the...
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 75 yards. And the Chiefs will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Dotson in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Big stop from a guy who can bring a big hit, Nick Bolton.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here comes third down and 7. He'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Down the right sideline. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devonta Smith, 53 yards. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devonta Smith. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 26. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Finds his man. It's Kelce on the crossing route here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Nolan Smith showing some burst there to catch him behind the line.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Hopkins. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's 3rd and 7. In motion right, one of the tight ends. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. His second catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. We are just getting started here at Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. 1 quarter in the books. 14-10 the score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. A first carry for Samaje Perine. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Facing a 2nd and 6 from the 8. Now Mahomes. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Perine will take this one in. It's a Chiefs touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and it's 21-10. A 10-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Samaje Perine. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got Smith here. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Trying to find Barkley on the out route, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory right at the 40. They'll drop to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
Dotson in motion right. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith.
And Devonta going to pick up the Eagles' first down as he'll be brought down at the 27.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll look to throw again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now a 2nd and 10.
In motion left comes Brown.
Throwing is Hurts.
Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devonta Smith.
His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Elliott on for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. So that drive goes 8 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devonta Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. And out come the Chiefs now. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. That is caught. They'll have the first down and more than that. And he makes it all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there for KC. 51 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This will be caught once again by Brown. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Chiefs continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Butker now to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
This will be caught by Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones that time coming in with a tackle behind the line.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Here's Hurts to throw. This pass hauled in by Dotson.
So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Hurts.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Tershawn Wharton
In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann.
And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well, no one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Josh Sweat coming in strong and dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Mahomes going to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelce. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Able to find Gray here.
And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt.
Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Now 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On third down, Barkley. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to fourth down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They're going for it with the option right. A nice little juke. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A fourth down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Two minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And out of bounds right around the 20. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage on the play there by Nick Bolton.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Caught, Kelce, left side.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now here's Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ryan. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And again, it's Mahomes. And this pass caught by Gray. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now Mahomes. Looking for Gray and finding him once again. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. That one downfield for Dotson. And that's caught inside the 30. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. He's over 300 yards passing already, as he's looking to possibly put his name in the record book.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Up the middle, here's Pirine.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on third?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again, because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Mahomes to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And even 30 yards on a play that began back at the 30.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
Now it's Mahomes again.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Mahomes now to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
And the Chiefs are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half, just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Pacheco once more.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances, so they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
And they'll run again, but he will lose yardage here as they knock him back to the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Pacheco is in. Touchdown, Chiefs.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that, so you really give yourself an advantage.
Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Goedert, the tight end.
Look at the big man rumble. Inside the 10.
Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, 75 yards.
And the Eagles get a bit closer.
Well, I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
In motion, the tight end, Kelce. They'll come out throwing here on first down.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On 2nd and 10, Mahomes. That's complete, left side to Worthy.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. In motion, the tight end, Kelce.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Zach Bond there on the tackle.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 5.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce.
And Kelce's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this down inside the 35.
Over 100 yards receiving for him now in this Super Bowl. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Mahomes going to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
In motion, the tight end, Kelce. Back to throw again.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelce.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Butker now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 23. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line.
They'll give it to Barkley off the option play.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
It's caught. Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown.
Devonta Smith
with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Eagles are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Well, yes, that's his 3rd touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devonta Smith.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here comes Mr. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, leading out this offense.
He's been a load for them to handle defensively. I know that much.
Well, look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because Not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Now here's Mahomes.
That one into the hands of Hopkins downfield. Down to the 10.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 74 yards.
And the Chiefs are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Barkley, inside handoff. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Throwing is Hurts.
He dumps it off to Barkley, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they've rallied and made the tackle.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line.
Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago, they scored. Remember, last drive was that 1-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you, what goes through your mind? And he told me at that point, it's not about schemes. It's not about what's called from the sideline. It's about players. Who's going to make a play, make a stand, and stop this offense from doing what they've been doing?
To throw, it's Mahomes. It's Kelce on the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
So that's the end of 3 here in Super Bowl 59 from Caesars Superdome. The 4th and final quarter coming right up.
We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. And there's just one quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been outstanding. 7 first downs and 8 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Now Mahomes.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. It's Devonta Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense.
So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
Do you want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
From the gun, it's Hurts.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Brown goes in motion left. Hurts. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Getting set to go again, Hopkins marches back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelce. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. This offense ready for their upcoming series as we get a look at the former Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
He's got Smith here, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Goes right back to Smith again.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 14. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They're going on 4th down with Hurts. He's going deep for Brown.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd down at 6 now from the 42. Here's Pacheco once again.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco.
And he stopped immediately there. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 67 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he's able to skip away from that first defender on his way to a pickup of 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They'll run here with Pacheco, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Chiefs are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. It's Devonta Smith and the Eagles ready to go on offense. He's north of 150 yards in this game. He's been doing his thing, hasn't he?
That he has, and he's been enjoying himself. And it's the type of game that you get locked into a pretty good groove. May not be record-shattering, but it's the type of game that if you accumulate that throughout a season, you're going to be one of the top receivers in the game.
See how much they incorporate him here on this drive. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle.
And Goedert going to have an Eagles first down as he'll get this up to the 39.
It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. Now a tip of the cap to the man under center, Charles. He just went over 400 yards passing in this ball game. He's got the touchdown passes to boot, taking pretty good care of the ball. Just all around a really solid performance.
Yeah, just check, and check, right? Because he certainly showed he was worthy of the trust that his team put in him. A handful of touchdowns to his credit thus far. Now he's just crossing off yardage milestones, and win or lose, his name has to be in serious discussion for player of the game.
They sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
They'll run for it with Barkley. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. He'll drop to throw.
This one complete down the field to Goedert.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are the Super Bowl champions. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.
Yeah.